my name is Guido. I am the founder of Scenic, and this is a complete walkthrough of Scenic. So I will show you almost all the screens that are available in Scenic. It's going to be a long video, approximately 45 minutes, I think, but it will give you a very good overview of what Scenic might be able to do for you. I'll dive a bit deeper into route planning and route sharing options because I think that's very important. And also I want to show you Scenic in navigation mode, so how it actually looks like when you start to navigate with Scenic. And then lastly, I want to show you the web app that we have that is focused on importing routes from other sources, including Google Maps. So let's just dive in. First, we start with the side menu. The side menu, you see a list of screens where you can get to. Let's start here with the profile screen. So you click on the profile picture and then you come in the Me screen. And I will just go through all the rows basically to show you what's there. So if you click here, you can change some basic profile information. And you can also change your profile picture and your nickname. Here you see the premium status. If you're not premium yet, you will see some subscription options here, and you can purchase that subscription from this screen. In this case, I am premium already. My subscription will expire next year, more or less. And here you can manage your subscription, change it or cancel it. Then this is an important screen. Here you can download offline maps. So in this case, I already have these states in the US on my device. And if I want to download another area, let's say take a small one, for example, Jamaica, I just download it to the device and now it's on my device and I can go there without having cellular data reception. Okay, here are statistics of my riding, and you can also get nice charts through time from that. Show you a little bit. All right. Then here is the achievements section. So with Scenic, you can also earn like experience points, let's say, and by the number of points you have, you are given a level. Now, I am Explorer Extraordinaire. There are many more levels that you can reach, and this is sort of like a nice gamification aspect of Scenic. Some people like it, especially if they come close to the top 10 in their country, which I am. I am number 11, so I'm almost reached the top 10 in my country. I live in Mexico, so yeah. And here is the world ranking. You can see as well the top 10. And here are some basic account actions. I can change my email, change my password, log out, or delete my entire account. So that's the me/profile screen. Now let's go to my routes. So routes are plans for trips you want to take in the future, and you can organize them in folders. For example, I have this folder here from a camping trip, motorcycle camping trip I did with some of my friends, and we created these routes to follow. Now you can click on a route and then you see more details of that route. You can change the folder it's in. You can change it, you can make it public so other people can find it and can ride that route as well. Some basic information about the route, and there's also a map area. So here I selected to show the elevation. So basically you see a color-coded line with the elevation there. You can also show that full screen to get a bit more detail. So let's zoom in. So yeah, you can see here that here was the highest point of that route. You can also choose to show the via points that are used to force the route on the roads. On these roads I wanted. And you can also choose not to show the elevation. Okay. And then there are some more options. There is an edit route which takes me to the Power Planner, which I'll come back to later. You can add pictures to the route and even reviews. This button here on the top will select the route for navigation. It will take you to the main screen, and then you just tap right and you can navigate that route. One thing I want to show you is how you can share this route with others, and that's by this 3 dots button. You can export a GPX, again edit the route, create a copy or delete it, but you can also create a share link. And when you do that share link, a link is created, and you can send this route or the link to this route via email, via WhatsApp, via messages, whatever you prefer. In this case, I am on the iOS simulator, so I don't have these options, but I can copy it. And then let's say somebody receives that route in his email, he clicks on the link, and then that will open his browser to that link, and then he will see this screen. He will see the route with all the via points and the stop, and he has the option, or she has the option, to add it to Scenic from here if they have Scenic, or just download the GPX. So this is a very nice way, if you are going on a ride together with friends, to share the route with your friends, and then everybody has the same route in either Scenic, or if they prefer another navigation solution, they can just download the GPX. So that's route sharing. My locations, same setup. You can organize your locations in folders again, and here you basically add your favorite locations, your locations where you go through frequently, or if you are planning a trip, you can add specific locations like hotels you're going to stay, restaurants you want to eat, camping spots, that kind of stuff, and you organize it in folders. So for example, these are the locations that I wanted to visit on our camping trip that we did. Yeah, some other nice features is you can change the icon of the location here and the color so that it shows differently on the map if you would like that. Again, you can change the folder, and you can also select this for navigation, and that will calculate a route from your current position directly to that location. Let's go to the POI groups. So POI groups are groups of locations, points of interest, best explained by an example. Let's take a look at here the Camping France group. So these are camping spots in France. Typically you will get that information from a GPX file that you find somewhere online, and you can import it into Scenic, and it will show all those locations on the map. And you can also select to show those locations when you are navigating. Let's go to my vehicles. So this is the selection of vehicles I added. Let's select this one, for example. It gives you the statistics, so the rides you did with that vehicle with the same charts you saw earlier. And you can also add some history items. For example, this vehicle was added in Scenic in 2017, and then I did chain tensioning in 2020. Then we go to my recorded rides. So that's a record of all the rides you did. So when you start navigating with Scenic, it is recording your ride as well. And you can take pictures during a ride, which will be added to the ride. Again, best explained with an example. So let's, for example, take this one. This is the record of the ride we did on day 3. You basically see where you went, the pictures you took along the way. You can change the folder, the vehicle you did it with if you made a mistake when you saved the ride. Add a description. So this is a nice record of all the adventures you did. Create a share link as well and share that similarly to how you can share routes. And that's maybe nice to put on Facebook or on Instagram, or just to send to your closest friend via WhatsApp or email. They will also see the pictures if you make them public. A nice record of your memories. So now we go to import. Import is a hub for importing routes from other sources. Let's first discuss Furcode and RouteU. Furcode and RouteU are route planners or route databases online, and you can connect your account from there and import your routes to Scenic and then navigate them. The import queue is linked to the Scenic web app. In the web app, you can, via your desktop, import GPX file and Google Maps URLs, and they will show up in the import queue. I will show you that process later on, but I already did this before. And these are the 2 files I uploaded through the web app and are now visible here. For example, this was a file that was sent to us by a tour operator. So this was a GPX file that contained 1 route for each day of the trip and also the waypoints that we touched on while during the trip. And so you can now import them all into Scenic and make them into Scenic routes. Let's go to the next one, discover routes. So with discover routes, you can discover routes that were made public by other Scenic users all over the world. At the moment, we have over 200,000 public routes in the database. That's a lot. As you can see, if we only search this area, it will come up with a list of over 1,000 routes. So let's add a filter. Let's add routes that have a minimum 3-star rating. And we apply the filter, and now it's only 249 routes. So now you can zoom in, and when the start flag becomes visible, you can click the route, you will see it. Okay, this looks like an interesting route. Okay, this also looks interesting, so let's select it here at the bottom. I get a little bit more information, and I can save it to my own routes so that I can write it as well. Let's go to settings. Settings is a big one. Scenic is very customizable, as you will see. I will just go through the settings quickly because it would take too long to go through everything in detail. Units and stat, you can change the units, your max speed, and you can choose not to record your speed data. Map settings, those are the elements that show on top of the map, like a compass, like your elevation. You can show a scale if you want to, and also a battery level in landscape mode. Appearance and colors, you can change some appearances, colors. Navigation and tracking is a big one. Here you can change the behavior of Scenic during navigation and what shows, what doesn't show, etc. I won't go through it all. Just to show you what's available. Detour behavior is an important one because this decides how Scenic acts when you deviate from the route by accident or on purpose. So you can set this up to be completely manual. You can have it more automated. You can have Scenic send you back to the route or find another road to the next stop. So a lot of options here as well. Okay, so those were the settings. Now, let's go to the main screen here. So here we have another button, which is the layers button. And in the layers button, you can do a few things that are all connected to the map, basically, and how it looks. So you can select the map type, in this case, a satellite map. There is also a hybrid map that shows the roads and the labels on top of the satellite imagery, and the standard map. There are overlays available. So if I select hill shading, we see the hill shading. You can turn it off again. You can see elevation lines or elevation colors or all three. So now I'll turn this off. And then here you see your POI groups, location folders, ride folders, and route folders. And you can choose to show them on the map while you are planning and or while you are navigating. So for example, the France POI groups, I would like to have them on the map when I'm navigating in France, so I can check this. Or you can select routes, this one for example, And as you see, now you see the routes that are in that folder on the map. The rides, similar thing. Some people like to show all the rides they did before on the map, and because it shows them where they already been, and then they can choose different routes the next time. And then lastly is the map styles. So in Scenic, you can customize your map in a very detailed level. So here you have, I have a custom map style that I created. It's called Gray Roads. So let's go into that. Let's say edit style. And you can customize basically everything. Colors, the width of the roads, the font size. Let's just do something to show you the concept. So here I can change the road width. And you can also do that per road type, but this is a global adjustment. Font size increases all the fonts. The POI icon size, etc. Now you can also do that per road type. You can change the color, the outline color, the width, etc. And an important one here for many people is the POI categories. So here I've shown gas stations to show already on zoom level 13. Now let's say we also want to see restaurants at that level. Then I go to the food category, and maybe I want to show, let's say, restaurants. Maybe I also want to see them already at zoom level 13. So here we go, there they are. And I can make the icon bigger or smaller, etc. Okay, so that's the layers button. Okay, now let's go to the search button. So search is basically like any other search that you are used to from other apps like Google Maps and Waze, with a few exceptions. So search doesn't only search in the data from the map, but also searches your locations, your routes, to see if there are any matches. So for example, if I do Twin Lakes. So I already have a route, Twin Peaks to Twin Lakes. So it gives me that route as a search result as well. And I can select it, and it immediately shows the route on screen. Let's clear the route. You can also go directly into your routes and your recent destinations to select it from there immediately. Then let's go to the Power Planner. The Power Planner is available by tapping the Plan button, and this has a lot of options. So let's just go through them. So here you create your routes from scratch. And the buttons here in the top bar, you drop a marker on the place where the crosshair is. So I want to go from here to here. Drop the end flag, and if I click here on this button, it will zoom out to the entire route. So this is the route it gives me, a standard route, just the fastest from start to finish. Now Scenic has a lot of routing modes available that are accessible by this icon. So there is a motorcycle mode, a moped mode, bicycle, RV, and even pedestrian. And every one of those has different options to choose from. Let's stick with the car for the moment. And here you can choose a shorter route, for example, and then let it recalculate. So it changes a little bit the route. Undo. And now a special thing that Scenic has is the curvy routing and the beauty routing. Curvy routing will calculate a curvy route between the start and the destination. And it does that by adding via points to the route to force the route to take the roads that are curvy. So as you can see, a very curvy route. Now, let's go back to the standard route and go to beauty routing. The beauty routing is something special. It uses street imagery to know which roads are scenic and beautiful. And then based on that, it will give you a route that go through that take those roads. So let's do recalculate. And as you can see, I get yet another different route. And you see these green stretches. And the green stretches are stretches that, according to the algorithm and according to the street imagery pictures, are beautiful. And you can even check that by long pressing here and then choosing look around. And you'll see the street imagery, and that looks indeed quite beautiful to me. All right, that's the beauty routing. You have here at the bottom, I already used some of these, the undo and the redo button. You have a reverse, and with reversing the route, you basically switch the start and the end point. So now we start here and we go there. There are some other more detailed options that I won't get into now. One feature that I do want to show you is the round trip. So let's clear this route and start with a round trip. So let's say I want to start a round trip from here, for example. And then I press the round button. And now I can choose the distance of the round trip, the rough direction I want to go. Let's do here. And I can choose some other options like avoid highways, avoid unpaved. Okay, let's leave it like this and then tap generate. And our round trip is generated from the point of the crosshair to back to the point of the crosshair, basically. And which is this. So a nice way, if you don't know really where to go, you can have Scenic suggest a round trip for you. And then you can save the route for later, if you like. Save as route. It's going to say round trip test. You can add a description. You can make it public if you like, or you can change the folder. Let's place it in test routes. Seems fine to me. And save. Now the route is saved successfully and I can safely clear it. Let me show you one more thing. Adding stops. Let's go from here to here. And we have a nice route, 87 kilometers, 1 hour 42 minutes. And now let's say you want to add a stop. Let's suppose there is a nice restaurant here. I can add a stop there. By default, it will get the name stop 1, but I can also edit the name and I say lunch stop, save. So that's my lunch stop. I can also add via points. I don't really like this road. I wanted to take this road here. Then I can drop a via point there. And as you see, it takes me now from the start to stop 1 by passing the via point. So the via point is basically a point to shape the route, to make it take the roads that you want. You can also see the route timeline here. So here you can see I will arrive at lunch stop in 49 minutes, 41 kilometers. Let's say you created a nice route and now you're ready to navigate it. So since I'm in my desk, it's hard to show you a real navigation. So I'm going to show you a simulated navigation. And what I specifically want to show you is how the default detour behavior. I have created a route for that. That is called route simulation. One more button I want to show you. So when you select the route, by default, Scenic will guide you from where you are at the moment, which is here, to the route start. But you don't have to do that. Suppose you want to start a route somewhere in the middle, then you tap this button and you just select start guidance where I join the route. And then you can go here, here, and then once you arrive at the route, the navigation will start from that point onward. Tap the right button. Once I reach the route, you'll see that the navigation will start. Here we go. So navigation has started. and you will see the route turn gray behind you, and you will see that the next waypoint is via 1. So I can now go to overview, and then it basically zooms in on the route, zooms out on the route. So you see I'm going to go to via 1 first, then stop 1, and then to the destination. All right, so we are still on the route, and in 650 meters, we will have to take the exit 13. All right, so now we are going straight, and Scenic will recalculate the route, and it will still try to send you to via point 1. Let's see how that looks like with the overview. So now, since you missed the exit, it's going to send you to via point 1 because that's the default routing behavior. Now, if you decide, I don't really want to go to that via point, then you can tap this button. It will ask you, do you want to skip? And if you click yes, then via point 1 is skipped, and it will go to stop 1. This is the battery save, gives you some basic information, and this is for saving battery if you are not connected to a charger. You can turn it off forever. Let's do that now. Now we are navigating to stop 1, and that looks like this. You see here was via point 1, we skipped it, so we are going directly to the next waypoint, which is stop 1. So let's say I'm done now. I'm going to say I want to stop this ride. It will ask me if I want to save it. So I can give it another name, test drive, description. I can choose the vehicle I did it with, and I can choose the folder where I want to save the ride. You can change all of that later as well if you make a mistake here. All right, and then I just save the ride. Ride is saved. You return back to the main screen. So that's navigation. Okay, then the last point I want to show you is the web application and Google Maps import. For that, we need to go to the browser on your desktop or laptop. So here is the web app. And basically there are only two functions. You can copy paste a Google Maps URL, or you can drag and drop GPX files or even KML files, KMZ files, GDB files, and ITN files. You drop them here and they will show up in the import queue. Okay, so here I have a GPX file that I want to upload. It's a big one. So now I've uploaded that through the web app, and it will show up in the import queue on the device. So if I go here now to import queue, there it is. That's the route I just uploaded via the web app. And there we go. So this is a big GPX file with a lot of tracks and a lot of waypoints. Okay. So that's the web app importing GPX files. And that's very handy because a lot of times you will have GPX files on your desktop or on your laptop. And this is a very easy way to get them to Scenic on your phone. Okay, let's go back to the main web app window and go to Google Maps URL. So here you can see I can paste a Google Maps URL, give it a name and a description, and then send it to Scenic. Now this is something I really want you to see because it's quite special and not a lot of apps can do this. So let's go to maps.google.com and just create a basic route here. Doesn't need to be special, it's just to show the principle. Let's say I want to go from here to, I don't know, here. Let's say I want to add a stop here. Add a destination. Now it will add it as a destination, but let's put it as a stop. Okay, with Google Maps, you can also drag the route, and these drag points will become via points in Scenic. Okay, let's do a drag point here. So now we should have 2 via points and 1 stop in Scenic. Let's see if that happens. So now I copy the link from the browser address bar. I go to the web app and I paste that link here. I give it a name. Again, demo route. Demo route for the tutorial walkthrough. Send to Scenic. All right, route successfully sent. Now we go to the import queue again, and it should show up here. There it is. And let's see what happens if we import the routes. And there we go. This is exactly the route as we planned it in Google Maps. There, I see there is a slight difference here. So that means Scenic is calculating the route a little bit different, but that's easily solved by just placing a via point on the blue line, and there we go. And then you can save it, save as route, demo, yeah, save. Okay, and let's clear it from here. Let's see if it's actually in my routes. I can search for it, demo. Yeah, it's in the test routes folder, and there it is. Exactly like it was planned in Google Maps, and now in Scenic, ready to be navigated. Okay, so this was quite a long video, but I hope you get a good feel now of what Scenic can do. By no means did I go into all the details. I mean, there are a lot more details to go through, but please, I'm always available for questions. Just go to the help page on scenic.app, send me an email, or check the help articles that are out there, or in the forum are a lot of users that are very eager to help as well. And have fun with Scenic. And again, if you have questions, let me know.